So this is the video for assignment 2. I'm just going to start with the one-to-one relationship which exists between the book and author. So we first of all want to, for every book there is one author, and um, so we need to be able to set in the constructor an author as within the constructor of a book. So we have to do that, we have to tell it the type we want. So we have type author, and I just named the variable author. We then have the getters and setters for an author. So within the book, it can get an author and return an author, and it can also set the author. Um, and then in the book up at the start here, yeah, this is for the one-to-one. We expect the type author A, and then this author here, the variable author that is within the header author is set to A, so it will set it to A, and then so that's for when you're setting up a book, which you can see here. I'm just gonna so we have solo published Lorcan, it has 10 books, um, and display details, and then we have book 1 Sapiens. We set the author as S1. So book 1 Sapiens has 600 pages in a history book, and we can also see the self-published one. So um, you can see that within the book, it sets the author, so it just gives a bit more detail about the book. We then have the one-to-many relationship. So there's many library items and one library item. So in the library header, we have a vector. Because there's many, you need to use a vector, and the vector is useful for, you don't have to set the size of the vector. It will just continually add up to, I'm not sure the max for a vector, but it will continually add items. So it is expecting a library item type, and we just name the vector items. We then go into library, and we can see the function to add the library item to the vector. So it has items, that size, and if it is smaller than the max number of items, which is set by us, or set by the user. So say I only want 3 books in this library, or 3 CDs and books in this library, I can set that. And as long as it's not hitting the max, it will add to the end of the vector. Um, So that's for the one-to-many. We then have the overload comparison operators. So that's in the library item. So we see I set it in the library item for non-member functions, and then in the book I also have it set as friend functions to compare 2 books. Just different ways of doing it. The friend the friend is the non, like, it's normal functions. So and then we can have as well non-member, which is similar to the other. So to overload comparison. So here we have, it compares 2 library items, and um, and if they're equal, then that means the names, the string values are equal, and the lengths are equal. If they're not, obviously this won't be true, and then for greater than or less than, it will compare 2 library items and see their string values if they're greater than or equal than, or less than, sorry. I don't have the less than or equal to either, but I could keep going and say for greater than, less than, and same again for the length of the items as well, the length of the library items as well. And then we have the overload output stream. So that's in library item. So we have to display, because there's like, you have to overload the operator for when you're outputting, because there's like different types within it. It doesn't know how to display it. So we have to tell the output stream how to display these items, or the the items within the vector. So we say we wanted the name and then length, and that is going to be how it is displayed. And then we also have the library display details, which uses this. So without overloading, we wouldn't be able to display the functions because it wouldn't know how to display them, like in what order to display it. So then in the library CPP, I can just show that here. Like there's the display. So let me click display details. So I can say has length 500. So sorting line by name, the 2 books in the library. So that comes from library library item detail library. I'll just go into the sort functions. So to sort, we need to tell, like, so it starts obviously at the start and ends, and then to tell it how to sort it. So we want this one by length. To do that, we say we compare the two items, and whether one is greater than the other, it will sort it. So if it's 400 and 500, it will sort the 400 first, then the 500. And we can see that here. So if I go through and I set B1 as 600 and I set B2 as 500. So if I have just before I sorted it, 2 books in the library are, so you can see 600 first, then 500, and then I sorted by length, so I can see 500 and then 600. So that's sorted by length, and then my name, or by by name, yeah. So if I just say simply sort by name, and then so we can probably see the, I'm not sure if it will, so by name, so we can see that Sapiens was added first and then Homo Deus. Even if I get rid of this first, I'll just get rid of that to make sure there's nothing affecting this how the vector is sorted. So sorting by name, so we can see I have it already by name, but you can see it here anyway. Sapiens was added first and then Homo Deus, and then Homo Deus, because H is before S, Homo Deus is displayed first. We then also have the find functions. So that's in the library. So this is the standard template library, and the find function within that. So I said FD is equal to, find items, find the vector, so the start and the end, and then I just had I. So if FD is less than or equal, less than or not equal to IM's end, it will so actually sorry, so we input say A is stored in I, and then we say find within the vector the start to finish I, and if FD is not equal to if it is found, it will display this, and if it is not found, it will get the name of that item that is stored in I, and it will display that. So I have a row here, so I have another set, library set, and I said find B4. So B4 would be 1984, and it says library item found, details found are 1984 and it has length 500. We also have the remove item function, so I wanted to remove B3. Then after that I'm just going to say display, and it shouldn't be in there either. Defined function is, so there's a remove function as well, so it will erase using the standard template library again, and it will erase it. So we can see that once Twisted Hay was, so we can see this is the library here set. Twisted Hay is there and 1984 there. We found 1984 and then we removed Twisted Hay. We can see that Twisted Hay has been removed and it's just the one book that's in that library too.